Thanks for joining us again this week on the Good News, where all news is good news. Make sure to join the discussion on Twitter using the hashtag Good News. This week we have plenty of uplifting stories coming your way, so get ready to be hit with some positivity. I'll be running through this week's entertainment news. Then Chika has an explosive feature about Japanese fireworks. Billy brings us the freshest food news from Byron Bay, and Christina will be covering the language speech contest. And to finish up, we'll be running, cycling and swimming to the finish line with Lillian's triathlon tales. But first up, Lily's got this week's good news headlines.
A police dog in Birmingham, England, caught a knife-wielding robber earlier in the week. JJ, the German Shepherd's handler, described him as fearless and courageous, claiming that stories like this reinforce the need for well-trained police dogs in the force. Giant pandas are no longer an endangered species, the conservation movement has declared. The population is estimated to have increased by over 16% in the past decade. Its status has since been updated to vulnerable. An American father has donated half of his liver to save his 18-month-old daughter's life. The young girl was suffering from a life-threatening disease and was close to death when her father underwent a live transplant. He said saving her was the happiest moment of his life. American brewing company Garden Grove has created a beer to raise money for local public schools. The beer is called Old Virginia Spruce Porter and uses a blend of recipes from the 17 and 1800s. This was Garden Grove's way of getting involved and helping the local community. Now I'll hand over to Ashley for some entertainment news.
Queensland is a long way from Hollywood, but that wasn't going to stop Margot Robbie. She's young, talented, genetically blessed, and she has Hollywood at her feet.
Margot Robbie is as homegrown as they come. Before Hollywood fell in love with our girl from Queensland, she was just an ordinary Aussie teenager. Born in Dalby on July 2nd, 1990, she was one of 4 children raised by the single mother on the Gold Coast. Robbie's success has been years in the making, and it all started in her final year of high school when she was cast in a low-budget independent thriller called ICU. This is where Margot found her love of acting.
Hello, it's called stalking?
After graduating high school, the then 17-year-old Robbie left the Gold Coast and moved to Melbourne to try her luck on Neighbours as Donna Friedman. In 2011, after 3 years and 311 episodes, Margot said goodbye to Ramsay Street, and I bet even she wouldn't have imagined herself to land something this big.
Judy, you better come check this sweet chicken.
Her big break would be in The Big Apple.
Hi.
Naomi.
Nice to meet you.
Naomi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We've got an awesome place here.
She had been in the US for a little more than a year when at just 23, Margot found herself starring as Leonardo DiCaprio's bombshell wife in Oscar-nominated The Wolf of Wall Street.
From now on, it's gonna be nothing but short skirts around the house.
Yeah, Mommy. Yeah.
But no touching.
Her star-making performance made big waves in Hollywood, and overnight she became the most sought-after leading lady, and the roles came rolling in. She has been the last woman on Earth in Z for Zachariah,
Jackson.
Nikki.
a con artist along Hollywood heavyweight Will Smith in Focus, into a war zone with Tina Fey in Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, and Jane in a Hollywood remake of the classic Tarzan. Now, if all that isn't enough, she's currently promoting the latest DC comic film to hit the big screen, where our very own Margot Robbie plays the Joker's girlfriend and supervillain Harley Quinn.
What was that? I should kill everyone and escape? Sorry. The voices.
Say hello to your new favourite supervillains. Suicide Squad introduces a host of comic book characters, DC's worst of the worst, which are recruited by the Suicide Squad taskmaster and government agent Amanda Waller in response to some serious supernatural goings-on.
I want to assemble a task force of the most dangerous people on the planet.
No pain, no gain. Never stand down, made our own way.
Y'all jokers must be crazy.
This is the deal. You're going somewhere very bad.
Look at the pretty lights.
To do something that'll get you killed.
You might want to work on your team motivation thing. You heard of Phil Jackson?
Yeah.
He's like the gold standard, okay? Triangle, bitch. What?
Oh, yeah, you're the fuck.
looky here.
For those unaware of the DC comic characters, Waller flicks through their files one by one, and we get to know the superfelons which become Task Force X, better known as the Suicide Squad. There's Will Smith, the hired hitman, aka Deadshot, a sharpshooter who claims to never miss.
I was just trying to get you there. You know how it feels, right? We good.
And Jared Leto as the Joker.
I can't wait to show you my toys.
Rounding out the rest of the crew is Killer Croc, Diablo, and the Enchantress played by Cara Delevingne.
Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me.
There has been some mixed opinions with this movie, so I thought I'd hit the cinemas to hear what others had to say. Hi guys, I'm just at the cinema and I have Tanae and Lisa here to give you their opinions on the Suicide Squad. Now Tanae, what did you think of Suicide Squad?
I really liked it. I thought it was an amazing film and Margot Robbie crushed it.
Oh, she did great, didn't she? And what did you think, Lisa?
I absolutely loved it. I thought Margot Robbie was incredible and Will Smith was on point.
So there you have it. Suicide Squad out August 5th, 3 stars.
Hey guys.
Forgive me for my wrongs, I have just begun.
Okay. Anyway, Billy, what did you think of Suicide Squad?
I thought Margot Robbie was great. Great to see her in kind of a strong female role. I do think it's strange after the film how their relationship, Harley Quinn's and the Joker's, has been quite romanticised in what was essentially a really unhealthy, emotionally abusive relationship. I mean, you've got Harley Quinn who's constantly chasing the Joker for attention and him ignoring her all the time. And now it's a big love story, but...
Well, there was actually talk of them doing a spin-off, another Marvel comic of just Harley Quinn, which is Margot Robbie, and Jared Leto as the Joker in their own little film and developing more on that relationship. So hopefully with that new film, we'll see why maybe they are portrayed like that.
Well, certainly they absolutely have great chemistry, but I would just hope that they go more into depth about how the relationship isn't something to aspire to for all those young film watchers.
Yeah, I think that their relationship on screen was perfect, and Jared was also saying that a lot of the scenes that they did together that made it more in depth and put a lot of character and a lot of depth into the characters was cut out. So that's interesting. So you guys will have to stay tuned for the next Margot Robbie and Joker film, which hopefully will be out soon. And now we need to hand over to Chika for her story on Japanese fireworks.
Hi everyone, welcome to Chika's Culture Discovery. This week I'm going to look into Japanese culture that they are having the annual biggest event.
This week we will learn Japanese culture. Japan is a popular tourism destination for all seasons, but especially in the summer, there are many fireworks display events and they are the most attractive aspects of Japanese culture. The Natsu Matsuri, traditional fireworks display festival, is the biggest event in summer and can be found everywhere in Japan. The festival is very popular and family-friendly with many street food and craft stores and is an opportunity to see Japanese people wearing the yukata in a variety of colors and designs.
I went to Japan a couple of years ago. At that time, I saw fireworks. I realized why Japanese people want to introduce a firework to the foreigner because Japanese fire was very beautiful and gorgeous. Definitely, Japanese firework is much more various than Oceanian firework.
Japanese and even foreigners have fun seeing fireworks, but there are some important meanings and history behind the events. The first Japanese fireworks were launched in 1733 in Tokyo. In the previous years, many Japanese had died from famine and infectious diseases. In response, the Tokugawa shogunate held a water god festival and launched around 20 fireworks, which represented commemoration and driving evil spirits away with the hope for human health. Also in August, there is a term called Bon, which is the only time that souls of ancestors will return. So Japanese think when fireworks disappear in the moment in the beautiful night sky, this is similar to a human's life. Both are elegant and beautiful, but they are short-lived.
およそ300年前から行われており、いくつかの意味があります。私たちがこの花火大会を続けているという意味は、主にこの2つを受け継ぐという意味で大事にしております。
Moreover, Japan has the largest fireworks display in the world, measuring about 800 meters in diameter when it's launched in the sky. Japanese fireworks manufacturers have pride and strong passion to make colorful and large fireworks. And in the Japanese largest fireworks display festival in this year, 4 million rockets were launched and more than 1.4 million people attended the festival. Thus, Japanese fireworks are the main subject of an event, not as additional color to an event. This shows that Japanese fireworks are more popular and entertaining than ever before. There are some more upcoming Japanese fireworks festivals that you should check out.
So what did you think about Japanese fireworks, really? Have you seen like that big fireworks event?
I've never seen fireworks like that before. They were pretty incredible. I mean, we have the fireworks at River Fire up in Brisbane, and I mean, I thought they were spectacular until I saw those, and that's just really blown my mind how incredible they are. We haven't seen anything like that here in Australia, really.
It looked like a really nice family fun, evening out as well.
Absolutely.
We definitely need to bring that to Brisbane.
I think it would be good, and it's good seeing how, I mean, we would just assume that fireworks are the same everywhere, but it's nice to see that cultural difference.
Definitely.
They are incredible, but I think it is important to remember that there is a massive cost associated with putting on fireworks shows.
It's really expensive.
And it is this kind of big display of wealth from a country which Japan possibly can't afford with a stagnating economy at the moment. And maybe some people in the Brisbane Local Council area might see as a waste of money for one night of shows. I don't know.
And there's also the topic of pollution as well. We always have
Scared pets.
we always have to weigh up the pros and cons. But if we need a family fun night out, maybe we should look to the Japanese for their fireworks.
Definitely.
How did you think about Christina?
Well, there are many fireworks in China too, but that make me feel that I want to go to Japan to have a look.
Yeah, definitely. I'll hand over to Bree that he's got a fresh story for this week.
This week on Bill's Local Banquet, I headed down south to Byron Bay, where I got my hands dirty and really earned my lunch on Farmer Jay's organic farm. This week on Bill's Local Banquet, I'm at Farmer Jay's organic farm in Byron Bay. Farmer Jay's offers a pretty unique dining experience where fresh produce lovers can come out to the farm and harvest the veg that's then cooked up for their lunch minutes later. And this week, I'm getting a private show from the man himself. Farmer Jay's is a closed-cycle organic farm with 250 free-range chickens, loads of different veggies, and beehives making organic honey. They supply local stores as well as run their pick-to-plate lunches and organic workshops for kids and adults. Farmer Jay.
G'day, Bill. How are you?
Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for having me out here.
Oh, pleasure, man. You ready to get some work done here?
Of course. What's first on the agenda?
Oh, well, let's go and harvest some veg, eh?
Perfect.
Let's go.
So what kind of problems have you had growing organic veg in this environment?
Bill, the humidity is a really big problem in Byron Bay because things tend to rot. Another really horrible problem is weed infestations, as you can see through here. And look, growing organic veg, you don't use any pesticides such as glyphosates, which we now know create cancer. So it's all the more reason for us to grow our own veg so that we know exactly what's going into them. I mean, look at that. Isn't that amazing?
And what is this lettuce we're cutting here?
It's a beautiful Solanova red frill, which just has the most amazing, beautiful crunch to it. It's really
gorgeous.
Beautiful,
so
eh?
crisp.
Chickens love it too.
So what made you set up Farmer Jay's organic farm?
Well, I wanted to have a place in Byron where we could teach kids and their families how to grow organic veg, and this opportunity came up here on this farm, and I thought, well, why not? Let's do it. And here we are.
Excellent. Looks fabulous. So what have you prepared for us, Farmer Jay?
Well, fresh salad out of the garden, a beautiful little egg and veggie frittata with some beautiful goat's cheese and crostinis.
Awesome. Looks amazing.
Well, let's hoe in. Have a bite. You feel that crunch? So fresh, eh?
Beautiful.
Well,
so this is where you get to eat lunch every day?
Every day, Bill. Making hay while the sun's shining.
Well, what an amazing lunch I've had here at Farmer Jay's Organic Farm in Byron Bay. It's a really wonderful place where people can really experience the organic produce that they get to eat for their lunch. and even learn how to grow it for themselves in their backyards at home. And after hearing about how some pesticides are carcinogenic, Farmer Jay can definitely sign me up for one of his organic workshops. See you next week on Bill's Local Banquet for more fabulous local food. So what do you guys think of Farmer Jay's? Does it make you want to start growing your own veg at home?
My father's doing farming, and then I know like how difficult they are. Like they put so much effort into it, so I'm really interested in your story.
I think it's great, really, being there and just really having that authentic feel of how your food is made. I mean, going to Woolworths and buying your produce isn't really the same as knowing exactly where it came from. I love that whole idea of paddock to plate sort of thing, which Farmer Jay's got going.
But is it really necessary? It's costly, you know, it's time consuming. What's the benefits of having organic food?
Well, I think to source organic food, it is a contentious issue because it is obviously a lot more expensive. And I think that's the whole reason Farmer Jay set up the organic farm, was to teach people how they can grow it on their own at home. So it's not this expensive, you know, kind of yuppie hipster thing to be eating organic. It's something that you can actually do quite easily at home, because there have been strong links to
carcinogenics. Yeah, you did mention that in your piece.
That's the World Health Organization. So, you know, it's not just this big conspiracy. There are obviously some problems with the chemicals that we're spraying.
And it's frightening.
On our food, yeah. And perhaps, you know, there needs to be the same thing as labels on food. If you're growing something and you've put chemicals on it, you should probably have to have a disclaimer on what's gone into growing that food.
But I'm sure that we won't understand what that is anyway. That's how they do it nowadays, isn't it? It's not very good.
And now we head over to Christina with her coverage of the recent Language Schools competition.
Hi everyone. My story is about the Gold Coast Language Speech Contest. It's a large annual event, and this year it celebrates its 37th anniversary at the Griffith University Gold Coast campus on Sunday, 14th August 2016. There were 300 languages teachers as judges, and a total of 1,200 contestants from primary, secondary, and tertiary schools over Queensland, competing in Chinese, French, German, Italian, Japanese, and Spanish on the day. This event is hosted by Griffith University and the Gold Coast branch of the Modern Language Teachers Association of Queensland. The contest is conducted from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. with separate buildings for different languages.
我家有爸爸妈妈妹妹和我，我家有2只猫，谢谢。
你的生日是几月几号？
我的生日是12月22号。
Good.
这样很好 ，Yes。
こんにちは。Buenos tardes. Ni hao. Good afternoon.
The awards started in the Chinese language.
My heart was really beating hard and I was really proud of myself.
I feel very proud that my Year 5 student got the third place in this Chinese competition. And when I teach them, they are very diligent and they spend lots of time on Chinese learning. They will have a bright future when they learn Chinese in the future.
The MLTAQ runs the annual Gold Coast Languages Speech Contest in order to encourage young Australians to speak another language and encourage them in their studies and schools. It's also an Australian government initiative to promote language learning in Australia.
Christina reporting for Griffith University News. So, how do you guys think about this language competition?
I thought it was amazing. Really good to see young students getting really engaged with languages from a young age. I think it's definitely something that Australian schools can aspire to do better, is teach languages and get people interested in languages. I mean, Australia is so far away from everything that perhaps it's inadequate because you don't need it, but then I think really it's a loss for students not to learn another language. I mean, how was your school training?
Well, I think Australia's very naive not to learn another language. There's so many out there, you know, and we need it, I think, as a nation. When I was in school, I learnt French, and to be honest, it wasn't structured well enough. I learned how to say, "Where's the post office?" Like, is that practical? Am I going to ever need to say that? I think it should be, you know, some basics and really structured, so I remember it throughout my life.
Yeah. because I speak Japanese and English, but I guess Gold Coast is a great opportunity to talk in different languages because I can see so many multicultural peoples. Yeah. How about your English study, Christina?
I think in China, English is a really important language, but I think even for Australia, it is also good to learn another language because the employer, they will look for employees who can speak another language, and then they have more ability to be
and definitely with Australia and Chinese and Japanese ties, you know, you can get so far in the business world if you have Mandarin or Japanese under your belt. So
Ken Rudd did pretty well off it, didn't he?
Oh, he did, didn't he? Perfect. Well, we all need to learn Jumbo.
Absolutely.
Now I will hand over to Lillian for her sports story.
This week, I'm talking to three-time Olympic triathlete Emma Moffat. She's just returned home from the Rio Olympics, where she finished 6th in the world, which is an incredible feat. I also have a chat to her running coach Jackson Elliott and find out what it really takes to be one of the world's best athletes. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Leading Lane. This week, I'm chatting to three-time Olympic triathlete Emma Moffat, who has just returned home from the Rio Olympics. After a devastating Olympics in 2012, where Emma was unable to finish after crashing on the bike leg, she was more determined than ever to have a successful Olympics, and that she did. After 4 years of intense training, Emma finished 6th this year in her 3rd Olympic Games. Let's go and have a chat to her now.
I don't think I could have asked for much more. I came 6th in the triathlon, so it was a really tough race. I swam well. I was happy with where I positioned myself on the bike, and typically in a triathlon it comes down to the run these days, and that's what it did, and it was a tough race, but I think I put all 3 legs together and it went really well.
Pretty much competing at a top level for many years. What has inspired you to keep going for this long?
I think I fell into triathlon by accident. I did it as a young child, and it just slowly progressed into an elite career, and I think once you get involved in it, it's probably hard to step away, but there's also so many amazing things that come with being an elite triathlete. I get to travel the world, meet people from different countries, and I think just pushing myself every day is challenging, and I think it's probably an addiction that I just love, going to training, pushing myself, and that great feeling once you're finished of achieving something and pushing your body to new limits. So yeah, it's definitely tough, but I definitely do love it and enjoy pretty much most days that I get to do it.
The training of an elite triathlete is very intense. Jackson Elliott is Emma Moffat's running coach, and he's going to give us some insight into just how much training it really takes to be an elite triathlete. What would a typical week of training look like for Emma?
Yeah, look, triathletes train a lot. Their volume's really, really high. Her typical week is there's no real days off. A Friday's a lighter day. We focus around her quality day running, particularly being on a Tuesday, a Thursday, and then a longer run on a Sunday. Fridays and Sundays are probably the days she only trains once or twice. Every other day she'd have 3 sessions in her day. On a Tuesday particularly, we really focus around getting some high quality running, so we'll run hard in the morning, then she'll do a bit of a shakeout swim, and then in the afternoon we'll do a ride-run session, which we often do indoors, and in preparation of Rio we've been actually doing in a heat chamber so that she can, get prepared or prepare herself as best possible to be able to run in the humidity that we're expecting in Rio.
So as we've heard, the training and dedication it takes to be an elite triathlete is incredible. I'm sure after such a successful career, Emma is really looking forward to a sleep in sometime soon. Thanks for tuning in this week. So as we just saw, it takes a lot of effort to be a professional athlete. Ashley, it looks like you're limbering up to become one yourself.
I'm ready. I'm ready to hit the gym and become a professional runner now. Goodbye to my morning job.
That's amazing. I see that she's obviously inspired you.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Do you think I'd do well?
I mean,
next Olympics?
It might take a little bit of training, but we'll see how you go. What did you think of all the training she did, Chica?
I think she trains so hard.
And I think that's like most people. I mean, getting out and exercising once a week's a pretty good effort, but I mean, to be doing it 3 times a day. What did you think, Billy?
It's a lot. I mean, picking a few veggies on Farmer J's was about the height of my exercise this week. But I mean, it is interesting because you have such this structured lifestyle and for a very long time, and then it makes you wonder what happens at the end of all that, you know, when you're too old to be competitive, where all that focus, and then what do you do with your time? I mean, do you know what her plans for the future are?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. She's just sort of coming to the end of her career now, where she's just announced retirement. So I think her and her fiance are going to get married and probably start popping out some kids. I guess that's how it happens, really.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. And you whip them into shape.
Yeah, exactly.
Next generation.
Yes. I think the most exercise we get here at the Good News Weekly is the walk from our dressing room to the desk here.
At least we do that, really. Next week on The Good News, Billy will be going global with his banquet segment and bringing us the freshest feats from the streets of Vietnam. Ashley will give us a jolly explanation on what to expect from Bad Santa 2. Chica will be throwing back German beers all in the name of research when she visits Brisbane's Oktoberfest. And Christina sinks her teeth into a tasty story when she chats to the yet-to-be-decided winner of the Gold Coast pie eating competition.
Tune in next week to once again have your faith restored in humanity.
Let's start living dangerously. Talk to me, baby.